Hi everyone, my name is Sumit. I'm a digital chess coach. In this video, we are going to learn about a special move called castling. So, castling is not a mandatory move, but it is an important move, and it's an optional move. It is to safeguard your king, so that you won't get attacked from the enemy piece. So you will get three pawns guarding the king, as well as your rook will be placed next to the king, protecting the king, and it will come into the game automatically from the corner of the board. And you have a knight at knight guarding the king as well in most cases. So let us see the special move castling, and it will come handy when you play your first game chess.
So in this lecture, we are going to look at castling. What is this is a special move in chess. So castling is important in chess, but it is not a compulsory move. It is a special move where two moves combine together to make a move. So we'll see what is castling and is castling important, and also the rules of castling we'll cover in this section. So we'll see about it. So castling is a combination of moves by the king or either rook, counting as a single move and executed as follows. The king is transferred from its original square, that is the even square, towards the rook on either side. Then the rook concerned is transferred over the king to square that king has just moved. So here the black and white pieces are ready to castle. They can castle on the king side. When you castle on this is the king side, you can castle king side, and the black and white and both white and black can castle on the queen side as well. The queen side castling is done in a different way. I mean, the e1 king is gone taken to the c1 square, and the rook is taken to this d square, and I'll show you it in the chessboard as well once I finish it. This is how the castling is done. White has cancelled the king side. The purpose of castling is that the king will be safe in the castle fortress position with the pawns guarding the king, and attack on king will be difficult, and rook will be also guarding the king, and also come into the action squares where you can join the action as soon as possible. So how to castle? The explanation: the king moves two squares towards the rook with which he wants to castle. The rook moves onto the square that king has just crossed, and I will explain it on the chessboard. So let me finish reading this, and then I'll explain it accordingly. When the castling on the king side, the white king moves from e1 to g1 square, and the rook from h1 to f1 square, and the black king from e1 to e8 to g8 square, and from his rook from h8 to f8 square. And when the castling on queen side, the white king moves from e1 to c1 square, and his rook from a1 to d1 square. The black king moves the same way, e8 to c8 square, and his rook from a8 to d8 square. In chess notation, the king side castling is recorded at 0-0, as there are two squares between the king and the rook, and the queen side castling is recorded at 0-0-0, as there are three squares between the king and the rook. The king side castling is also called short castling, while the queen side castling is called long castling. So is castling important? So castling is an optional move which is permitted only once in the course of the game, but however it is recommended to castle because of the following reasons. The king is more likely to counter attack uh, when it is in the central squares, and castling provides the king is safe under the shelter of pawns away from the center. The rook, which is castled with, is automatically brought in a good position towards the center. So rules of castling. So the player castling, the following conditions are to be satisfied. Castling is permitted only if neither the king nor the rook concerned have moved previously. All the squares between the king and the rook with which you want to castle must be empty. The king should not be in check, and castling is not allowed for the purpose of getting the king out of check. So if your king is under check, you cannot castle. It is as simple as that. And the castling is permitted only if neither the king or rook is concerned have moved previously. So if your king has moved or your rook has moved, you cannot castle. If you want to castle king side, if the rook on the king side is moved, then you cannot castle. You lose the right to castle. And it is a one-time move. You cannot castle multiple times in a chess game. The square which a king is going to jump over should not be under attack by the opponent, and the square on which the king would land after castling should not be under attack. So in this diagram we'll see, so white cannot castle because white cannot castle on the king side because you have a knight which is between the king and the rook, and the black cannot castle king side because this bishop is attacking, and it is crossing this attacking square by the bishop, so it cannot castle. And he cannot castle queen side because this bishop is attacking the landing square of the king, which is a c8 square, and he cannot castle here. But if the rook is attacked, then it is allowed to castle. White can castle queen side even though the rook is attacked. So there is a confusion in the beginners that if the rook is attacked you cannot castle, but that is not the case, because the rook is attacked. Even the rook is attacked, you can castle on the queen side. So these are the some of the rules of castling we'll see in the chessboard. Let me remove the pieces. We need a rook on the chessboard. We can get away with these pawns. Let me take away these pawns, queen, etc. on the chessboard. Yes, so castling means you take your king and move to, this is called the king side castling, move to the g1 square and take the rook and place it on the f1 square. This is called a king side castling. Black can do the same from e8 to g8, and you can move the rook from h8 to f8. Always move the king first. Do not move the rook, because if you touch the rook then you have to move it, then you lose the right to castle. Always touch the king first before you castle. That is one thing which you have to keep in mind. And by castling queen side means you have to take your king from e1 to c1 and your rook from a1 to d1. This is how you castle on the queen side. Same way this is how you castle on the queen side as well. So now I'll tell you something. If the rook is like this, on d8, white cannot castle on queen side because this rook is this rook is attacking the square, and king cannot pass this square because the rook is attacking this square. So that is not possible. So for example, white, if you have the rook is here and you have a black bishop here, again you cannot castle because this bishop is attacking the landing square of the king and it will be under check. So you cannot castle queen side. And if you have a bishop here which is actually guarding this square, attacking this square, again the king is not allowed to cross and castle this square. But if you have a bishop here and if it is attacking the rook, then you can castle, because even if the rook is attacked, black can castle. Okay, so these are and one more thing before I forget, if you have any piece in between the rook and the king, then you cannot castle. You have to take that piece out first, and then only you can castle on that particular side. These are some of the rules of castling, and this is a very important move in chess, and it is denoted by 0-0 and 0-0. King side castling is 0-0 and queen side castling is 0-0. So I hope you understood this castling. Please go through this lecture and also the PDF file to understand more about this move.